Hey guys, it's Kevin. So I've been using the iPhone 14 Pro Max since launch about 6 months ago. It's not a long time, but I live in this world where I'm switching between phones, testing them out, and repeating this process when a new phone is released. In this video, I'll give you an update on what it's been like using this as my daily driver, iOS updates since launch, and rumors about the iPhone 15 Pro. So here's my long-term review of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay, if you didn't know, I'm one of those people that don't use a case or a screen protector on their phone. I do have AppleCare Plus, so it gives me some peace of mind knowing I can get it replaced if something happens. So for the past 6 months, the iPhone has been traveling around like this, naked. It's been in pockets, jackets, and cars. I also toss it on the couch and place it on a desk mat. The matte glass back of the phone looks like new with the exception of a small scratch. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera though. And the stainless steel sides are the same, but you can see some scratches on the bottom from plugging in a lightning cable. As for the screen, you can see some micro scratches in direct sunlight, but it's nothing too noticeable that it interferes with normal use. Alright, the OLED display is a joy to use, and it's one of my favorite displays at any smartphone. It's 6.7 inches with a resolution of 2796 by 1290. It also has ProMotion technology, meaning the refresh rate can go as high as 120Hz to as low as 1Hz, which enables a long-awaited always-on display. I'll get more into that later. I always prefer the larger size iPhone so I can see everything on the screen, or maybe my age is showing. The larger screen does make watching videos and editing photos a lot more enjoyable. I did use the iPhone 13 mini for a week, but the screen was too small for me. But I have to admit it was very nice to be able to reach the top corners without some crazy hand gymnastics. So the brightness on the 14 Pro models can go up to 2000 nits outdoors, and I can see the screen perfectly while I'm going on a Bobo adventure with my cousin. I wish there was an in-display fingerprint reader, but Face ID works well even with a mask on. One of the new features on the 14 Pro models is the always-on display. I've been wanting this for years, but honestly, I don't really use it other than the first week. I feel like it's distracting since the notifications are there begging you to check them, and it's a little too bright compared to the Galaxy S23 Ultra. I do have the Apple Watch, so I'm keeping the always-on display off. The other new feature is Dynamic Island, and this is one of the coolest features Apple announced during the keynote. But after using the 14 Pro Max for 6 months, I don't even use it that much either. I mostly use it for music since it's convenient to have access to playback controls in the island. Status updates such as low battery, AirPods connections, and turn-by-turn directions are convenient too. The always-on display and Dynamic Island are nice to have, but it's not a big upgrade like the cameras. As you know, I take all of my photos and videos for YouTube and Instagram on a smartphone, and since Apple finally upgraded the cameras, I decided it would be worth the upgrade from the 13 Pro Max. The new 48 megapixel camera allows photos and videos to look a lot more detailed, in good lighting of course. Even though the Galaxy S23 Ultra crushes the iPhone 14 Pro Max on paper, I prefer the look of the iPhone's pictures because colors are more natural. Here are some comparison shots. Let me know which one you prefer in the comments. If you're interested in my review of the S23 Ultra, I'll leave a link in the description box below. On the video side of things, they look great in good lighting, and there's less noise and low light. The built-in stabilization is pretty good, but I do own a gimbal since it makes it a little smoother. So I record in 4K 30fps and import them into Final Cut Pro. I use AirDrop to copy the videos to the MacBook Pro, but it's a pain. It would have been nice to have USB-C. People have told me to get a dedicated camera, but I like how easy and quick it is to start recording. But some say the best camera is the one you always have with you. The 14 Pro Max is also capable of recording ProRes video in 4K 30fps, but the file sizes are massive. I only used it once, but the time it takes to transfer videos isn't worth it. The battery life on this is really good, and I've been using this for social media, recording YouTube videos, and normal phone stuff. And the 14 Pro Max still performs the same as the day I first got it. It can easily last me the entire day on a single charge, so I don't need to worry about plugging it in. I charge it every other day with the MagSafe dual charger, and the battery health is still at 100% after 6 months. I never charge it overnight either, just during the evening and remove it when it's time for bed. Apple released a few iOS 16 updates since launch, and some of them brought features that were announced during WWDC. iOS 16.1 brought iCloud Shared Photo Library, so if you have kids or pets, or going on a trip, you can share it with 5 other people, and anyone can add, edit, and delete photos. Live activities make it easier to keep track of events like sports or an Uber driver in Dynamic Island or lock screen. iOS 16.2 added Freeform. It's basically an infinite whiteboard for collaboration. You can have text, handwritten notes, pictures, videos, links, and more. There's also Apple Music Sing, which is karaoke with real-time lyrics, volume adjustments, and duet view. And Apple brought customization to the always-on display. Kind of. You can turn off the wallpaper so it's black like on Android phones, or you can turn off notifications completely. iOS 16.3 was a small update that added security keys, HomePod support, and bug fixes. I'm currently on iOS 16.4, but it's in beta. There's some new emojis, and the return of the book's page turn animation. We're still 6 months away from the next generation iPhone, but the 15 Pro models are expected to have a slightly new design with a curved display. I hope it's not curved like Samsung phones and more like the previous iPhones like the 11 Pro Max. The side rails are expected to be made of titanium like the Apple Watch Ultra. Side and volume buttons are rumored to be solid state buttons rather than physical buttons. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I'm guessing it'll be like the home button on the iPhone 7 Plus. It'll also make the phone more water resistant. But the number one rumor I'm most excited for is USB-C. I almost always use wireless charging, but I like to use one charger and cable for all of my devices. And how about that red color? Overall, I would recommend the 14 Pro model to anyone in the market looking for a new smartphone. It has an excellent display, performance, cameras, and battery life. But since we're half a year in, it may be worth waiting for the iPhone 15 series. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!